We're getting closer to full systems go. And my record journal, Athletes of the Week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal, and welcome to Athletes of the Week show, week number 4 for the winter season. But Aaron, it's not feeling like winter today, brother, man. Not today. We're filming on Tuesday morning, and it's beautiful, and you and Sean are going to be covering a Platte Maloney track meet outside today. So this is week 4 winter show, but let's just say this is the tomorrow the green grass show, because it's starting to feel like spring at last. All right, listen, we're going to move on with our fresh 6 slate of candidates. We're back to doing 3 boys, 3 girls. Before we do that, we have our winners. You saw from the top of the show there. We had our all-boys show last week. Dylan Hennessy coming in first, and quite an impressive victory for Dylan Hennessy. Tell you what, he gets votes like the Sheehan Titans score goals by the bunches. Dylan Hennessy, congratulations to you, and also congratulations to Cool Hand Luke Neiman from Cheshire. He came in second. But got to say, Tommy Ralston from Lyman Hall Hockey, another fine hockey team on the ice this winter, he came in a very, very close third. In fact, in some states, I think there'd be a runoff election. So we're going to go acknowledging our top 3, Dylan Hennessy, Cool Hand Luke Neiman from Cheshire Basketball, and Tommy Ralston from Lyman Hall Hockey. Who do we have on tap for week 4? Like I said, we're back with 3 girls and 3 boys. We're going to start with the girls since we missed the ladies. And we're going to go over to the east side of Meriden right here. Miss Gracie Massacott from Maloney High School, basketball player. She's also a volleyball player, you know, all record journal in that sport. And she's leading the way for the Spartans on the hardwood this winter. She's their leading scorer. And last week against Buckley, 27 points for Gracie. Amazing. En route to 27 points, she had 5 3-pointers. Gracie, fine effort. You've been having a fine junior season. Heck, you were having a fine season last year as a sophomore, and even before that. She's a good one over at Maloney High School. She is Miss Gracie Massacott, girls nominee number 1 here in week 4. Second nominee, she's also a basketball player. She is from Lyman Hall High School. She is Miss Natalie Panagrosso. Good to see the Trojans out there playing. They were in quarantine for 2 weeks to start the season, so that put them a little behind. But they've really made up for lost time. They've played like 900 games in the last 2 weeks. They've played quite a bit. 7 games in 2 weeks, and Natalie in double figures for the Trojans in each one of those games. She's leading Lyman Hall with 13 points a game, also a leading rebounder. She had 14 reebs against Brantford last week. Came back on Friday night with 17 points against North Haven. Natalie Panagrosso, fine player. She and fellow seniors Grace Gagliardi and Brianna Mick leading the way for the Trojans. For now, it is Natalie Panagrosso, nominee number 2 among the girls here in week 4. Our third and final nominee, going over the ice hockey rink. The Cheshire Girls, they co-op with Amity and North Haven, collectively known as the Connecticut Blades. And hey, the breakout girl this year, right here, Miss Ginny Corello, freshman goalkeeper. Coach is already saying how good she is. In fact, Jeff Peschler is the coach, and he said to our man Greg Lederher, hey, she's already the best goalie in the league. She's the best goalie we've had here in the Blades. Only a freshman, Ginny Corello. And she's got the Blades at 4-2-1, but ironically, actually her best games came in defeat against West Haven Sacred Heart Academy. That team's undefeated, and they've beaten the Blades twice, but not for any lack of effort on the part of Miss Corello. 42 saves first time around, and it was her varsity debut. And then the other night, Saturday night, they took West Haven Sacred Heart to overtime, and Ginny had a career high 43 saves. Congratulations to you, Ginny. We have definitely not seen the last of you. You are girls nominee number 3 in week 4. And while we're on the topic of goalies, that segues us right into our boys slate of nominees, because leading off for us is this man right here, Mr. Lukamanj from Sheehan Hockey. We talk a lot about Sheehan Hockey, and for good reason. You know, they're 8-1. They score goals by the bunches. They won again yesterday out in Stamford against West Hill Stamford 3-1. But on Sunday night, Luka got the start in that against Guilford, and the Titans just rolled right over them, 9-1, 9 goals. The funny thing is, though, at the end of the night, when the score sheet was tallied up, turns out Lukamanj had not 1, but 2, but 3 assists. Aaron, you just don't hear that every day. In fact, you know how many times you've heard it in the National Hockey League? 3 assists for a goalie? I can tell you, one time One time it happened in the NHL. Little trivia for you. It's the record for single game assists for a goalie. It's held by Jeff Reese. He was playing for the I know, who's Jeff Reese? Well, he's a guy who holds the NHL record. February 1993, playing for Calgary against San Jose, the dude had 3 assists. Now, here's some other fun facts for you. The goalie with the season record for goalie assists, you might figure, I bet you it's Grant Fuhr, the Edmonton Oilers. And you're right, it is. Grant Fuhr had 14 in the 83-84 season, which of course was the first cup for the Oilers in their 80s dynasty. Now here's the interesting thing. The Oilers that year averaged 5.56 goals a game. And, Lukamanj with his 3 assists the other night for the Titans, who are averaging 5.66 goals a game. You just can't make this stuff up. Lukamanj, congratulations to you, boys nominee number 1. And I got to say, I love your name. He's a Frenchman, Lukamanj, from the fine tradition that brought us Bernie Parent and Jacques Plante and Gilles Gilbert. Aaron, I've been waiting to name drop Gilles Gilbert in one of our shows for the longest time. And Lukamanj, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Congratulations. You are boys nominee number 1. All right, our boys' second and third nominees, a nice little mix here. We have from Southington Boys Swimming right here, Mr. Brett Sheldrick. He's a senior, but you're saying Sheldrick. Southington Swimming, haven't heard that name before. You haven't. He's a club swimmer who came out for the Blue Knights for the first time this year. And I'll tell you, he joined a very good program, and he's helped make it even better. Going into Wednesday's dual meet, he's got 7 individual victories, and he's been a part of 8 first-place relays. Very diverse swimmer. Of those 7 individual wins, 3 in the breaststroke, 1 in the IM, 1 in the 50 free, 1 in the 200 free, 1 in the 500 free. A lot of races, a lot of wins for Mr. Brett Sheldrick. Brett, good to have you aboard. I know Evan Tuttle must feel the same way over at the Southington YMCA pool. You are boys nominee number 2 in week 4. Our final nominee, one of our personal favorites. We're going back over to Platt High School. We had Henry Smith nominated last week, and this week we have his teammate, Mr. Anthony Nemani. And this kid's only a sophomore, and he's a good one. A lot of people taking notice of him. He played last year as a freshman and did very well as a freshman, and he's really breaking out as a sophomore. Now, I could tell you he's averaging 14.25 points a game for the Panthers, which he is, but I'm kind of loath to do that because it's only one facet of the kid's game. Here's what's telling. A couple days ago up in Wethersfield, it was actually Saturday the 27th, 2 weeks ago, triple-double for Anthony. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. A couple nights later against Rocky Hill, 22 points, And then this past Friday night against Newington, again flirting with a triple-double. 11 reebs, 8 points, 8 assists. He had 3 blocks, 3 steals. He does a little bit of everything. He makes the Panthers go. He's a good player. He is Mr. Anthony Nemani. Boys nominee number 3 here in week 4. And there it is, 6 in the books. 6 to vote upon. You're seeing this. It's at least Wednesday at 6 o'clock between now and midnight Sunday. You have time to go online, myrecordjournal.com/sports to vote for our 6 nominees. Bring you the boys winners next week, the girls winner. And I think, Aaron, we're going to do a little something with teammates next week. We'll see how our teams do. We got some neat games coming up. Platt Maloney basketball on Friday, Lyman Hall and Sheehan on Monday. Hoping to do a little thing with teammates. Wilcox Tech, we haven't forgotten about you. Don't you worry. And on that note, I'm going to take my leave of you before I fall off this log. Just want you to know I felt compelled to do this show in one take because I lose my balance. I'm in the drink, and that's what Aaron's kind of hoping makes the show. And I'm not going to let that happen. On that note, I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record-Journal. My thanks always to Aaron, even though he wants me to fall in the water. My man, Shawnee Krofsick, and our guys, Ronnie Buck, Brendan O'Sullivan, bringing a guy on this week, Kevin Arnold from North Haven. Appreciate the work you do for us. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record-Journal. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to vote. Be good.